talking about AI, but the conversation is really starting to shift. We're moving way beyond simple chatbots and text generators to something much more powerful, autonomous AI agents. These are systems that can handle entire workflows for you. So the big question is, how do you actually get from here to there? Let's break down a super practical roadmap for taking your business from simple AI tasks to a fully automated future. The pressure is definitely on. I mean, look at this number. A staggering 92% of companies are gearing up to boost their spending on artificial intelligence. This isn't just some passing trend, it's a fundamental shift in how business gets done. And this huge wave of investment, it means your competitors are already moving. They're investing in systems to make themselves faster, smarter, and way more efficient. The fear of being left behind is very real, and honestly, it's what's driving this massive push. Which, of course, leads to the big question. Where do you actually start? It's one thing to talk about the AI revolution, but it's a whole lot harder to figure out that first practical step. How do you go from just talking about it to actually doing it without getting completely overwhelmed? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into. Okay, first, let's get really clear on the stakes. This isn't just about playing with cool new tech. We're talking about a measurable, competitive advantage. Let's take a look at what the companies leading the pack are already doing. 1.5x. Remember this number. It represents a massive performance gap that's opening up between the companies that are all in on AI and, well, everyone else. So what does it mean? It means AI leaders are seeing 1.5 times faster revenue growth. And why is that? It's because they're able to personalize customer experiences at a huge scale and make smarter, data-driven decisions way faster than their competition. This proves that adopting AI isn't just another expense, it's a direct investment in your top-line growth. It's a clear driver of real-world business success. Okay, so you're probably convinced of the why. Now let's talk about the how. The best way to start is by not trying to boil the ocean. Instead, you want to look for the small, smart entry points that can deliver real value right away. And the starting point is actually way simpler than you might think. Don't go looking for some complex, futuristic problem. Just look for the everyday friction that your teams are already dealing with. You know, things like summarizing meeting notes, or waiting on another department for a simple data pull, or just staring at a blank page, not sure how to kick off a project. AI is absolutely brilliant at solving these common headaches. Now, to make this even easier, you can think of AI as having 6 core skills, or what some people call primitives. These are like the fundamental building blocks of AI that you can combine to solve more complex problems. They include things like content creation, data analysis, coding, research. You get the idea. Let's look at a couple of really powerful examples. Here's a great one, data analysis. So the fashion marketplace Poshmark used AI to generate Python code to sort through millions and millions of rows in a spreadsheet. This saved their team countless hours of tedious manual work, which freed them up to actually focus on strategy, not just crunching numbers. It's a perfect example of breaking a skill bottleneck. Or how about this one? The payment platform Klarna built an AI assistant that now handles 2/3 of all their customer service chats. Just think about that. That's the equivalent work of hundreds of human agents. It just goes to show how a single primitive, in this case creating content to answer questions, can automate a massive repetitive workflow and deliver absolutely huge returns. So you've got some potential uses buzzing around in your head. The next step is absolutely critical: prioritization. You can't do everything at once, so you need a smart framework to decide where to focus your energy for the biggest and fastest payoff. The CEO of Klarna really just nails why this is so important. When you get it right, it's a win-win-win. It's better for customers, it's more interesting for employees, and it's more profitable for investors. Choosing the right project to start with is a really high-stakes decision. The impact/effort framework is a simple but super powerful way to make this decision. You want to focus on that top left box, high-impact, low-effort projects. These are your quick wins that are going to build momentum. A great example is Tinder, which used AI to give non-coders access to technical tools, a really low-effort change that had huge value. On the other hand, you have projects like Indeed's, which boosted applications by 20%, but that was a high-effort, high-value project. The trick is to start with the quick wins to show some early results and get that buy-in for the bigger projects down the line. All right, once you master those single task automations, it's time to level up to the real game changer, AI agents. This is where AI stops being just a tool that you use and starts becoming a teammate that works for you. So what is an agent, really? It's a system that can handle complex, multi-step workflows all on its own. So, for example, instead of you just using AI to search for flights, an agent could book the flight, reserve a hotel, rent a car, and then add everything to your calendar, all without you lifting a finger. You can break down any agent into three core parts. First, you've got the brain. That's the large language model that makes all the decisions. Then you have the hands. These are the tools and APIs it uses to actually take action, like sending an email or pulling from a database. And finally, you have the rulebook. Those are your instructions that define how it should behave and what its limits are. And you can even have teams of agents working together. There are two main ways to think about this. In the manager pattern, you have a central agent that acts like a project manager, dishing out tasks to other specialized agents. In the decentralized pattern, it's more like an assembly line, where each agent finishes its part of the job and then hands the project off to the next specialist. Both are incredibly powerful ways to orchestrate really complex work. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From finding that very first use case to designing complex agent systems. So now let's bring it all together into one clear, actionable roadmap.
Here it is, your path to adoption in 4 simple steps. 1. Identify the friction points in your daily work. 2. Teach your teams the basic building blocks of AI. 3. Prioritize those high-impact, low-effort quick wins. And 4. Scale your successes, building up from simple tasks toward fully autonomous agents. It's an incremental journey that builds compounding value at every single step.
The technology is here. It's ready to go. AI is ready to take over all the tedious, repetitive parts of your job, your to-do list. The real question is, what will you and your teams achieve with all that reclaimed time and brainpower? What's on your to-be list?